Okay, I think we are good to go. I was just making sure everything's up and running. Went live a few minutes early. Welcome all. We're about 15 minutes away from Night City Wire Episode 3. I'm checking my internet. I was going to go live a little bit more earlier, but Spectrum is the worst internet provider. Just pointing that out there. My gosh, right now have a little bit of a little nervous. Let's just say that. Spectrum, not a very good, ISP, and not very reliable. Even though I'm spending so much money on it. But, yeah, guys, we got a big new Night City Wire Episode 3, as I alluded to in the last stream we did, which was the PS5 event, and also my last video, which was on Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to have some very big things being shown. We're going to have a tour of Night City. We're going to see some, I guess, more details or maybe gameplay of each gang. And then system requirements. That's the new thing. We're going to see some system requirements. It seems like music and whatnot has been pushed off a little bit. Who knows when we'll see that? Maybe the next episode. We know that there are going to be more Night City Wire episodes. Yeah, everybody who has Spectrum has a story. I scheduled the stream. I was just about to go live, and then it said my YouTube live page said that I'm offline, and I was wondering, why am I offline? Pay so much money for internet, and then I realized Spectrum had a little outage, I guess. Thankfully, it was only for a few minutes, but yeah. Anyway, guys, let's get this ready. I'm gonna make sure audio and everything sounds good. Let me know if everything sounds good to you. That's a little loud for me on my end. I'll turn it up afterwards. Turn down my headphones. Let me know if everything sounds good. Actually, I am very interested in seeing what system requirements are going to be. I have a 2070 Super. I was going to get a 3080, but that pre-ordering did not last very long, thanks to the scalpers. "12 minutes to go." Vehicles, I don't think we're going to see much of a focus. I mean, we'll probably see some gang vehicles and whatnot. I'll turn that off for right now. Vehicles and whatnot? No, I think maybe you'll see some things afterwards. Maybe some faction-specific. I really don't know what specifically they're going to show with gangs. Or we're going to see like an in-depth look at some characters, or I'm just curious how in-depth they're actually going to go. But for those curious, we did actually have a new character that was announced. This happened yesterday. Alana Pierce, she announced that she's going to be in Cyberpunk 2077. One of the streamers in the United States, they have a couple. Co-Carnage is going to be appearing in the game for a side quest, and I believe Jesse Cox. So about 3 people, and I believe China has their own 3 as well. I couldn't tell you, I'm not sure their names, but yeah, it seems like each territory has like at least a little Easter egg, something to get the communities in these countries and different languages involved. It's nice. But yeah, this actual tweet blew up, almost 100,000 likes. Yeah, this is going to be a fun stream, guys. This is going to be a fun stream. And then also, if you didn't know, a $900 Keanu Reeves statue was announced. If you guys have that much money, go for it. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, throw in the chat. Let's just make sure everything sounds good. Let me know if everything sounds good on my end. I just want to make sure this stream goes as smoothly as possible. The only way it could be hurt is the possibility of Spectrum screwing it up, but so far we're good, it seems. Okay, yeah, we're about 10 minutes away, guys. 10 minutes away until the stream. Any last questions or thoughts, predictions, throw them in the chat. This is probably going to be about a 30-minute show. This is how all of these streams have so far been. Remember, this is not the last one. Yeah, and also the chat is delayed a little bit, if you didn't know. That's why I gotta fiddle around with the settings a little bit more. Yeah, that's YouTube. I'll probably, in 2021, that's probably going to be one of my big things moving forward. I'll probably be streaming on Twitch. I just think that Twitch is a better streaming platform, and also better to diversify the portfolio a little bit more instead of relying solely on YouTube, because YouTube's not not always reliable. But also, that's going to be one of my missions, is streaming more and podcasts and such and all kinds of stuff. But, yeah, system requirements will be announced. I'm very curious to see... Dog in the background. Very curious to see how all this runs. Because we have not seen actual console gameplay, I believe. We have not seen it run on the Series X or the PS5. And I think a lot of people are curious how this is actually going to run on the more standard current-gen stuff, like the Xbox One, the 2013 edition, or the standard PS4. I have a PS4 Pro, which is probably what I'll start off playing the game with, but maybe PC, I'm not sure. Debate there. Yeah, as everybody gets in, this is going to be a fun stream, and thank you, Cyber Destroyer. As most of you guys already know, I am on Patreon if you want to help out and support the channel, and then there's also a dono button below. But most of all, just having you guys here to chat some Cyberpunk and watch it. It's going to be a blast, and I believe this Sunday I'm actually going to be appearing on a podcast. That would be the Cyberpunk 2077 Community Podcast with the Neon Arcade, Mad Queen Show, Last Known Meal, and Triple S League. That should be fun. Not very often I get to nerd out and just talk Cyberpunk with some other creators. As you guys can all see, we're about 7 minutes away. I'm just chipping through some of the news and stuff that we've seen the last few days. Like CDPR has been, like, I love this shot. Let me see, I think I have the video up. Maybe this is the, one sec, let me, there we go. If you recognize this shot, this was actually shown in the E3 2018 footage, and what's very interesting about this is just how the game has evolved. It just looks so much more detailed. And Eternal Dark Wolf, thank you for the dono, appreciate it. And yes, the chat is ahead of time, so I'm responding ahead of time before it's probably going to appear on the screen. Scott Barwick says, I saw a funny comment on the 48-minute gameplay demo back in 2018. It said, every time you watch it, you're 48 minutes closer to the release. Well, it is true. That is actually true. Noise, I don't believe I am in Cyberpunk 2077. I believe it's only 3 creators. I think it's Alana Pierce. Most of these plans were already set like a couple of years back. It's Alana Pierce, Co Carnage, and Jesse Cox. Those are the only ones that I know of. Personally, I think if there was one Cyberpunk creator that probably should appear in the game just because of her knowledge of the lore and so much content that she's made, probably the Mad Queen Show. I'd like to see her appear out of any Cyberpunk creator, but I don't know what CDPR's plans are with that and how many influencers they actually want to have in the game. But yeah, again, guys, as you can hear in the background, we're 6 minutes away. I'm just going over some of the recent news. I'll probably discuss this in a new video very, very soon. But this is a teaser. We're probably going to get a new trailer. But this is from the Watson District, the view from V's apartment. We saw this infamously in 2018. In the 2018 footage, there's like a little brain dance thing and a user interface right here we could look at. And this shot, it just looks better in my opinion. The graphics just look like they've definitely evolved and look a lot better. If ever do a face reveal, I've done a face reveal on Twitter and such. I just don't do it in video. Maybe that'll be something that I plan down the road. Maybe, I don't know. Greg E3 Egg, thank you for the dono. I love your CDPR shows, mate. Keep it up, bud. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for the 5. Yeah, face reveal and stuff like that. That'll probably be. That's not like I'm not hiding my face on purpose, but yeah, eventually. People have been asking that for years too, back in the Red Dead content age, and we'll see. If you had a choice to be in the game, would you? Oh. That's actually a hard one. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, if I was actually... I don't know. I think I would, but... The thing is, when I'm being very critical about the AAA games industry, and CDPR has had some mistakes, especially with crunch and such, it's hard to say, honestly. I think I would, but... I don't know. That's actually a really good question. It's something that you could ask, honestly, any of the critical YouTubers and such, because a lot of them, I know they do a lot of voice. I know a lot of these have appeared, a lot of them have appeared in games and such, so it's a hard one. But I think it would be something I would take up. I mean, immortalize myself in a AAA game of that magnitude, of course. I think most of you probably would as well, right? I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like it's a bit of a conflict of interest if you're trying to... because people will think that there's a bias there. Even though, no matter what, I'm always going to give my opinion 100%. Yeah, actually, I do have the lore book. The lore book is amazing. Okay. 3 minutes away, guys. Just about 3 more minutes away until Night City Wire Episode 3 begins. If you're just getting in here, this is going to be a fun time. We'll be talking, well, we'll be getting a good new look at Cyberpunk 2077. Expect some more gameplay and, of course, more details. But again, this is not the last Night City Wire episode. We have a couple more to go. If you're just getting in here, if you can, maybe to consider hitting that like button and subscribing. Gonna have a lot more Cyberpunk 2077 content to come. And actually, I see somebody asking about cyberware in the chat. That's actually something I've been thinking about, because I'm still not even sure what my character creation is going to look like for this game. Am I going to be a nomad, or am I going to be a corpo? I'm starting to lean away from the corpo path and going nomad first playthrough, but we'll have to see. I don't know. And then at the same time, I'm also thinking about how I'm actually going to go about things. Lots of decisions. JLS Fire Gaming, thank you for the dono. Keep up the amazing work, brother, he says. Cyber Destroyer, I'm thinking about going Nomad just because I like that Red Dead-esque theme, I guess. But I'm going to play all 3 of them, of course. But honestly, I've gone back and forth. Yeah, I see a lot of nomads, corpos. I think the one thing I don't see many people talking about is the street kid. I see lots of nomads and corpos, but yeah, there's the first street kid coming from somebody. Alright guys, we're about 1 minute away. See if there's any. We did have another side. These images have been, like this one specifically, the new images have been shared by I believe it was Game Informer. We talked about this in a previous video, but the monks, we got a new image for them. There was also one more image. I believe it just showed a vehicle or whatnot. Yeah, we're about 1 minute away. I'm going to switch to the stream, I'm going to turn up the volume, and we're going to watch it, and we'll discuss afterwards what was shown. And this was actually talking about, we saw this image before, but just a great look. Alright, let me get back to the stream, and yeah guys, turn up the volume. Make sure, let me know in the chat if volume levels all sound good. I'm going to turn off the background audio. Alright. There we go, 29 seconds left to go. This is Night City Wire Episode 3. Steve Connor, thank you for the 5. He says, using 5 days of vacation for this. And yeah, it seems like a lot of us are going to be investing lots and lots of hours into this experience, including myself. Can't wait to get myself immersed into this, but... Alright guys, 10 seconds away and Night City Wire Episode 3 begins.
You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Stepping up here with the snakes. City of dreams, city of...
Hello and welcome to Night City Wire Episode 3, the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. In today's episode, we're going to start by taking you on a tour of Night City in a new gameplay video and have a chat with senior level designer Miles. Then we're going to introduce you to the gangs of Night City in another new gameplay video and have a chat with Mateusz from our quest team. Then before we finish today's episode, we're going to give you a look at some of the incredible finalists in our PC case modding contest. And we have some information that PC players have been waiting to hear.
Yes, system
so let's get
requirements.
started. It's time to take you on a tour of Night City.
Oh my god, Juanita here. Today's news is Nova Max.
Hi there. New to Night City? It's not so bad here.
How we feeling today? Cause I feel amazing.
The food. The Thai on 7th and Haywood. The pierogies down by the docks.
Our home, our pride.
And as always, your business is my business.
And this is your World News Update. Endless possibilities and endless lies.
We are fucked, America. And I don't know how we're gonna fix it.
The homeless population in Night City has risen by 300%.
Crime in Night City is now double the rate than in the new United States.
You want to be some kind of hero.
That's a fight this city won't let you win. On your own, you're fucked.
Hey, comment.
Well, on that note, that's it for today's Info Flash. Sleep tight, Night City. The grass ain't greener anywhere else.
Night City. What does it mean to you? How well do you know its history? Who was Richard Knight? How many stations are in the NCART system? Which city district boasts the best burrito in town? The answers to these questions and more can be found at the address at the bottom of your screen. Check it out and fall in love with Night City all over.
Is that a real website? Let me check. No, that can't be. What am I saying?
Well, since Night City is one
it is
of
real.
our stars of this episode, there is actually quite a lot to talk about. So let's start at the beginning. How did Night City come to be? Because yes, it exists in the world of the tabletop, but how do you take that and make what we've got now?
We'll look at this
Well,
later.
yeah, as you can imagine, making a city that is as big and complex as Night City is quite the ambitious project. First off, we sat down and we were really considering what is it that we wanted to do with Night City. In a way, Night City is the star of Cyberpunk, right? It is one of its main characters. We wanted to make a city that is very, very believable, right? I mean, the word immersion gets thrown around a lot, but really, we wanted you to be able to dive into it and feel like this is a real place. And then secondly, we also wanted to provide enough variety between districts so that exploring Night City would always be fun, right? There's no point in making a city that is all same-ish and, you know, it doesn't really matter where you go because once you've been through one district, you feel like you've been through all of them. So for that, we first off started taking a look at the real-life geography that Night City is located on, and that would be on the coast of California. Wow. Knowing that Night City would be a coastal city gave us a bit of insight into what we would expect from the city layout. You'd expect the port, you'd expect...
What blows me away, I'm just saying this real fast, just so detailed.
That you would assume a city of this type would have with the world. And then we went through and actually divided the city into several districts, 6 of them, and some of them are based on the original lore. We decide to give their own characteristics in terms of architecture, their demographics, the kind of people that would live there, and also the function within the city. Each of these districts, in turn, we divided into further sub-districts, which we further characterized using the more grand theme of the larger district. This process, I think, has resulted in a city that feels quite alive, has a lot of character, where each district feels like its own distinct zone without feeling separated from the larger picture. And that results in something that allows the player to easily navigate even the complex concrete jungles of Night City simply by looking around and always having a rough idea where you actually are.
But Night City is clearly so different from anything we've ever created with The Witcher. Can you give us some idea about, or some insight into just how big and like how densely packed Night City really is?
Yes, so I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying that Night City is easily the most complex thing that I or the others have worked on. The city is super organic, right? It's not like a chessboard layout, but the layout of the city is crazy, and you can tell that it grew in phases, right? Where buildings have been built on top of each other, and I guess the mega buildings that we have showcased are a great example of this. You'll actually see that they are located on some kind of pillar, you know, and then expand outside and then up high into the sky, and underneath it you'll have space for other buildings. This yields a lot of interesting experiences when it comes to exploration, and that's the one thing I'm most excited about for players to experience. We've been saying that our exploration is super vertical, right? But what this really means is that it changes the way you explore the city. Compared to our previous games, you won't be able to easily set out on a target in the distance, right? You won't be able to say, oh, there's a castle on a hill over there, I'll try to get there, and then you'll be lost in the way. But here it's much more intimate, much more moment to moment. You might be roaming the cities and get a call by your fixer who informs you about a job nearby that you might be able to do, right? Or you find an alleyway and you walk down one of the many alleyways that the city has to offer, and it's always a surprise. You don't know if you might stumble upon some gangers hanging out that are up to no good. Sometimes, and these are the moments that I often get surprised with, you even stumble upon the odd elevator that is meant to connect parts of the, you know, different layers of the city, and it's quite astonishing sometimes to see where you come out when you enter one of these and, you know, find that, oh, this is actually how it connects to the world. That's crazy, and now I'm here, and now I know there's a shortcut that I can take. And again, this all serves to really enhance this sense of wonder that we all come to love from open world games, and the whole city is built to cater to that.
I mean, you guys have really brought Night City to life, and I really want to make a point of that. It is a living, breathing city. So as a level designer, can you give us some insight into those little touches that you guys have made? Because I hear you guys have even been placing rubbish by hand.
Oh yes, we've been placing quite a bit of rubbish, and that's certainly one of the more glorious parts of being a level designer or an environment artist, where you get to litter the streets that you've spent time building with the garbage. But it's details such as this that we find really important to make the city feel alive, and also we take great pride in the process of making this, right? We have a lot of fun actually placing a lot of what we call mini stories, right? These are little encounters that you can find when you simply walk along the streets. Of course, we have huge quests, right? Side quests. We have lots of side activities that you can do, but it always is nice to just kind of stop down for a minute and take a look at your surroundings that we have so lovingly created, and try to see if there maybe isn't something that you can be a little detective for. Now, one other thing that I think is really cool is also the fact that we have actually named every single street in the city. So not only will NPCs be able to communicate their locations or the locations they want you to visit by sort of referring to the street names, but also you will be able to talk to your friends about it in that way, right? Have you been to Poplar Street in Japantown, for example? And I think this is a small detail, but the philosophy that we have with these kind of things is that, you know, many small things contribute to the sum of it, which is hopefully then you being able to explore a city that you feel is truly alive and that you haven't been experiencing before.
Well, Miles, thank you so much for giving us your insight. I suppose when the game launches, you could be an official...
Anybody saying this looks downgraded is crazy. This is probably one of the most detailed open worlds I've ever seen.
I might retire and become a tour guide in Night City.
This just looks phenomenal.
If you are tuning in late, or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channels soon. Now, from the 6th Street to the Valentinos, it's time to introduce you to the gangs of Night City.
You know how things work in Night City? The stronger survive, but that's how things stand. You're either somebody, or you fizzle out into nothing.
Den C ain't a city that lets you get by without buddies.
Be very careful, my friend. We are all so far from home.
Is that Takamura?
Which gang's the city's biggest and baddest, according to the NCPD?
Scavs hold the body count.
Was that Takamura?
Or Maelstrom, depending on the season.
One time, a Maelstrom ganger killed a young kid right in front of my eyes for shits and giggles.
Chrome-sucking psychos.
And who the fuck are you to say what can and can't be? I'm gonna introduce you to our meat grinder. About time we had some fun!
Think Maelstrom never forgets?
Never!
I hate these Borg fuckers.
Just a gang like any other, right?
I'll take the Valentinos. They follow God and the Santa Madre. Honor means something to them.
How'd you meet Jackie?
We started out together.
In the Valentinos?
No, in the fucking Bible book club.
I gotta give style points to the Valentinos. They have a punishment for every occasion.
Gangster life, puto!
Quick shout out to everyone in Haywood and Santo Domingo. Lately, the Valentinos and 6th Street have had a bigger bone to pick.
6th Street. Why'd they want to wipe you?
I don't, can't fucking stand Tinos.
Fucking scum!
I've dealt with 6th Street before. We do the run, they'll transfer the cred.
Come on, let's go before 6th Street shows up. Shot! Any more Second Amendment fans in the house, huh?
Hate those bastards. Vomit lofty patriotic bullshit all day. Time to bring on the future.
Any idea how many attacks from behind the Black Wall we neutralized? If the Voodoo Boys breach the Black Wall, we'll all be fucked.
Voodoo Boys? Urban myth, I thought. Just net runners spooking each other. No such gang.
You know, I heard a few things about you. The Voodoo Boys, best runners in town.
You do not steal from the Voodoo Boys. I see you, always.
For them, Pacifica's just Haiti 2.0. Their own island, cut off from the rest of the city.
This is our turf, our home. Until last week, the animals crawled in.
Animals are the craziest fucking gang in the city.
Breaker stall!
Animals aren't the play here, are they? They're hired muscle. Someone else needed them.
I fucked you over, you fucked the gang over. Somewhere at the start of the story, somebody fucked the Corp. See how this works now?
My husband's new Westbrook, very high in the tiger claws. They did what made the best eddies, sold sex and black market tech.
See a lot of tigers. They run this place.
Know what else they do well? Break the knees of people who ask questions.
I gotta do something!
Shut the fuck up! The tigers will kill us. Come on, baby.
Tiger claws killed one girl too many, so people took matters into their own hands.
Folk went ballistic. Girls, pimps, outcasts, the whole freak show. It's how the Mox got started.
Think you're some kind of gangoon now, huh?
Us Moxes have each other's back. We look out for one another. You looking for some company tonight?
How'd you hook up with the Mox?
I thought Susie and the gang could really change something in this city.
Moxes and nomads don't seem so different. Both seem to yammer a lot about community, solidarity. Tell me about the Badlands. Not much going on out here, huh?
Au contraire. This is an ecosystem. Nomads, wrapped in Shiv, corporations, and drifters, they form a complete whole. Remove one part, the delicate balance topples.
Here in the Aldecaldos, it all stays in the family.
Classic dilemma. What comes first, family or the outside world?
This family will go to hell and back.
Everyone in this city lives in their own bubble, and either you fly high or sink into quicksand.
That voice actor sounds familiar. I just can't put my hand up.
Mateusz, thank you so much for joining us. I have personally been really excited to give people a closer look at the gangs. We've shown a little bit on Twitter, but their styles are so distinct.
Yes, I enjoyed them a lot as well in our game. I think they're very cool.
But let's start then with the kind of role that they play, because gangs really do play a prominent role in Night City, correct?
Yes, definitely. The gangs, they rule the streets of Night City. You know, they have the newest cyberware, they have the newest weaponry, and they are really a power that everyone needs to take into account when they are thinking of operating in Night City. You will encounter them as you explore the city, of course, but also as you complete main quests, side quests, different jobs for the fixers. Sometimes you might even get hired by them.
But then, I suppose everybody's thinking then, can you join a gang?
No.
Well, V is a merc, and mercs of Night City are this unique, distinct group that stick mostly to themselves, right? And they get jobs from variety of factions. They can get jobs from corporations, they can get jobs from gangs, they can get jobs from different kind of like influential clients. Because of this, nobody will ever trust a merc to be one of them, right? And the gangs are no exception here. They are looking only for like people that they know will be loyal to them, right? And that they will fight for their cause all of the time, not just some of the times when it's profitable to them. So because of this, V will mostly stick to the Afterlife. And the Afterlife are this group of mercs, this legendary group of mercenaries in Night City. They get the best jobs, they get the most money, the best clients, and so on. So if you want to become a legend in Night City, you are going to the Afterlife.
So we've obviously mentioned distinct style then. So does that mean there are kind of special gang-themed weapons and items and clothing for players to find and use?
Yes, definitely. There are different vehicles that you can drive, for example. There are cars, there are motorbikes. Then, of course, there are different pieces of clothing themed after gangs. There are weapons and so on. So yeah, definitely there are things to look forward to.
I suppose as somebody who's spent as much time as you have kind of getting to know the gangs, I have to ask, which is your favorite and why?
So I would have to say probably Maelstrom, simply because they have this unique, distinct feel and this weird aesthetic about them. So the idea about Maelstrom is they are people who want to cross the boundary between the machine and human, right? They are changing so much of their body with cyberware that they no longer look human, really. On top of that, they are also very unpredictable. It's very difficult to say what they will do at any point when you meet them. At one moment, they can be shaking hands with you, and at the other moment, you know, they will pull gun out on you, and they bring in this element of chaos into the game, which I really enjoy personally.
Oh, Matty, thank you so much for joining us. It's always interesting to learn what your favorite gang is. I think it kind of tells me a little bit about you.
Oh, does it? What does it say about me?
Well, we'll talk about that later. But for now, before we wrap up today's episode, we asked people to show us their creativity and design a PC case mod, Cyberpunk style. Our panel of judges selected 5 finalists and we teamed them up with professional case modders to bring their concept to reality.
We still have system requirements left, but so far a lot has been shown. We'll, yeah, and I gotta go over that website after this, because there's a lot there.
5 amazing designs will be fighting for the main prize, an Alienware Aurora PC, along with other awesome gaming peripherals. Brought to you by our partners, Alienware, NVIDIA, and SteelSeries. Let's see the mods.
I absolutely loved this one.
The whole aesthetic works with each other.
Absolutely next level. Honestly, kind of terrifying.
That is pretty impressive. Jeez, how many hours did that take?
Exactly the type of thing I would expect to find at a trade show.
It really looks like it could have come straight out of the game.
Now, the voice that I heard earlier wasn't Alana Pierce. It was somebody voice. I don't know who it was.
To watch the full PC case modding video and to get more information about when the winning design will be available on charity auction, stay tuned to our social media channels. Looking at those PC case mods, it reminds me that we do have one more thing to reveal. If you're going to be playing Cyberpunk 2077 on PC when it launches this November, we do have some specs to share that I think some of you have been waiting for. The minimum system requirements for Cyberpunk are a Windows 7 or 10 PC, an Intel Core i5 3570K or AMD FX 8310, 8 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 780 or an AMD Radeon RX 470. In the storage department, the game will take up roughly 70 gigs of space, and although it will run off a HDD, we do recommend an SSD. As for the recommended specs, you're in the green if you're rocking Windows 10, an Intel Core i7 4790 or AMD Ryzen 3 3200G, 12 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 or AMD Radeon R9 Fury. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 3 of Night City Wire. Don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channel.
Okay, that was the system requirements.
We'll be back soon with episode 4.
Episode 4 confirmed. Okay. Well, there's more here, people, before everybody heads on out. We gotta go over the website, but I think they have a post show or something. Okay, well, we'll wait on that. Maybe I'll keep it going. Maybe not. Okay. Let's see. Anyway, there's supposed to be some post show, but I'm pretty sure it's just them discussing. Anyway, so there's more here. That website that I was talking about is a real thing. Let me try to make it as big as I can on the screen. 1 second there, chat. Let me also put some background music in so it's not so dead. Okay, here we are. So this is nightcity.love. That website is real. Total body count report 11 deaths. I wonder if that updates throughout the day. That'd be funny. Welcome to Night City. Whether it's your first time in Night City or you've lived here since the Crest administration, this site has you covered. Get out and explore with our curated selection of the city's top highlights. Impress your friends with nuggets of trivia from our historical overviews of the city and its districts. Navigate and cart like a pro with our TLDR overview. Hit only the hip parts of Haywood and dodge the gangs with safety tips straight from the NCPD. Whatever your Night City dream is, with the site to guide you, it's sure to come true. And here we have, I believe this is the footage that was shown in the Night City Wire episode 3, an advertisement for one of the mayors. Maybe we'll have a quest or something with him. Vote Peralez. He'll fight for you. Is this an advertisement? I think it is like an advertisement on the website. And yeah, there was a couple more on here I clicked off, but pollution in your sector, we can help. That's pretty cool. Okay, funny. An advertisement for the Aeronite vehicle. We get some history about Night City. This is all featured in the lore book if some of you have that. I'm just going to read the top part. The history of Night City begins with a dream of one man, visionary industrialist Richard Knight. In the final years of the 20th century, Knight had a vision for a city of the future, one uncorrupted by old ideals, Jesus, and stifling regulations while he died, so whoops. For a massive modern metropolis, Night City is surprisingly walkable. You can get almost everywhere on foot. This is not, however, the quickest, safest, or most fashionable way to travel around the city. Here's a quick look at the alternatives. You can take a car. Good news for car owners. You can park anywhere you like for as long as you like. Paid parking was scrapped completely in the 2060s, partly in response to extreme violence directed at contractors cooperating with Meter Me, distributed parking enforcement startup. If you need to buy a new car, you'll have plenty to choose from, no matter the balance on your cred ship. 2 stations. I'm going to go back to the Night City Wire footage in a second because there was a couple things that they really quickly went past. Like, I believe we saw Takamura, I think. Are plentiful and now subject to an industry-run quality control, blah, 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 blah. NCART, or Night City Area Rapid Transit, is a slick means for fast travel around town. Those are the little, I guess if you go near subway stations, it's just a fast travel location, pretty much. That's what it sounds like. Cabs. We highly recommend the Delamain transportation system. If you watch my last video, this is what Philip Weber, one of the senior quest designers, hinted at. Seems like there's going to be some content or some stuff going on with that. These sturdy AI-driven cars will take you anywhere for a surprisingly reasonable fare. And here we have some details on the districts of Night City. Are they all here? Yeah, they are. Okay. So we got City Center. I'm not going to read all of that, but there is an overlook of the city. Just look how vast that is, the huge roundabout. Then there's an advertisement for real water. Oh gosh. 99 eddies. Delamain, leave your problems at the door. Now Watson, we get all the details and the history of them. Most of this I'll probably go into a lot more of a detailed video, like an actual video going over this stuff, but just for now, let's quickly go over, get a good look at an overview of, well, it looks destroyed. And then we get another advertisement, all foods, burrito, XXL. It's, okay, it's big. There was a lot more humor in this episode, even though it's shorter. Bolshevik, so strong it glows, 100% pure. Health warning. Drinking alcohol during pregnancy may adversely affect the development of your oh boy. Concerned, contact your nearest health facility to acquire psychological and medical counseling. Okay, blah, 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 blah. And then there's a threat level. It says, warning. The Night City Police Department's current threat level for Watson is extreme. Gang-related crime is rampant, especially in Kabuki, which I believe this is Watson's where the Maelstrom gang operates in the Tiger Claws as well, and the Mox. Anyway, now we get Haywood. This is where the Valentinos operate. Threat level, the Night City NCPD, currently threat level for Haywood is partially hazardous. In the eastern and southern regions, gang activity has been noted. Most of this can be attributed to the Valentinos and a violent gang dealing in narcotics, vehicle theft, and a variety of other criminal activities. That we get, again, another advertisement we saw before. A look at part of the city, or part of this district. Joe Teal's down home. Too good to waste. Okay. And then there's one more district, I believe, shown here. Westbrook. NCPD's current threat level. This is like where all the rich corpos live. It's minimal. A criminal group known by the name Tiger Claws has a strong presence in Japantown, but there's little reason to believe they pose a significant threat to law-abiding residents and visitors. Also, NCPD, if you actually tick the bottom of this page, technology, I think this is not always reliable in this in-universe take, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. We get a great look at the North Oak. This is where I believe there's like some really nice casino or something up here. Luxury area. Taste the love. Okay, that's good. Okay. That was pretty good. And then we get another advertisement again for the Rayfield vehicle. Yeah, the system requirements, I thought they would maybe show the higher, more than that, like Ubisoft did with, I believe it was Watch Dogs Legion. I like how they did that, but at least I know that my game will run probably on higher max settings. Depending, obviously, if I upgrade to the 3080. Then we have a couple more districts outlined right here. I'm going through this because there's actual gameplay images for each of them. Santo Domingo, blah, 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 blah. It's operated by the 6th Street Gang. Though the veterans who fill its ranks claim they protect their neighborhood from hostiles, the NCPD has received numerous reports of their involvement in typical gang activities, including but not limited to protection, rackets, and armed robbery. Captain Caliente, only one Eddie. a beautiful look at the district, which mostly destroyed. And then we get that advertisement again. Pacifica. The current threat level for Pacifica is catastrophic. In the absence of city authorities, criminal groups control it, specifically the Voodoo Boys, and it goes on about their dispute. We've already talked about that long before. Furthermore, frequent attacks by scavengers means many who enter Pacifica leave without vital organs because scavengers are scavenging, well, your body parts. Meet your neighbors, NCPD, advertisement for the protectors of Night City. And then the final one, the outskirts, which is the Badlands. Numerous nomad groups regularly roam the area surrounding Night City. They have adopted a parasitic lifestyle dependent on theft and the ambushing of unwary travelers. You are advised to maintain plentiful supplies of food, water, and self-defense firearms. And then we get an image that we saw, I believe, a couple days ago. We talked about this in a video from the Nomad Life Path. A solution to your problem. Pollution in your sector. Medical malpractice. That's a lawyer. Radiation in your sector. Okay. And then all world insurance. And then an advertisement for Arasaka's quote-unquote environmental protection. Alright guys, then that is the website for the most part, but we do have some more screenshots. We get a look here at the Santo Domingo, I believe. Yes, it is. 6th Street gang members. You can see their houses and whatnot. This is the poor district in Night City. Not sure what this shot is. Oh yeah, I already went through a couple of these. We'll go back. Yeah, I can't see much from this image, but I think it's just trying to show off the lighting, which does look impressive. We saw this image before. Santo Domingo again. Then we have shot of Pacifica. I think it's these same images that were shown above, but better high definition looks. You can see all, I believe that's all pollution and nastiness in the air, which is kind of fitting for the times right now. Especially in that part of California. Maelstrom, I believe. Yeah, just some good images. I mean, I saw some people really concerned about this open world. I thought it was extremely detailed. There's just so much here. I think the question, though, for some people is how this is going to run on consoles and what's going to be the density, the population density for some of these regions, or maybe the maximum. Because, let's just be honest, the Xbox One and PS4 can only handle so much. Yeah, I loved all this. I thought that this show would go a little bit longer, though. That was what I was surprised by. What's your thoughts on all of this, chat? Let me, I'm going to keep this open, but I'm also going to open up. Let me see if I can find... Do they upload Night City Wire Episode 3 yet? They did, okay. Ugh. Yeah, I'm using this on my ultra wide, which is why I can't just go full screen. There we go, that works. You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Okay. Yeah, I love this moving to Night City. That may be a mistake. Let me keep the volume low. I did like this. I think that this is supposed to be like some type of TV commercial or something. Really cheesy.
Hi there.
And then we have that look, which is what I was talking about before.
Night City. It's nuts.
Yeah, they went very quickly through this, but any concerns about this world not being massive is, well, that's being dishonest.
So Betty, how we feeling
We got a new NPC.
today? Cause I feel amazing.
The food. The Thai on 7th and Haywood. The pierogies down by
Somebody says other YouTubers are going to put the gameplay. Of course they are going to put it together.
the docks.
Oh.
Night City Police Department? I can't read that.
Oh.
We got, I'm guessing this is the mayor, maybe?
7th and Haywood. The pierogies down by the docks.
Our home. Our pride.
City of Dreams. It's like the cyberpunk version of Jim Cramer, I guess.
Your business is my business.
And this is your
Ways. Your business is my business.
And this
Yeah, look at that. I think what I appreciate most is just how disgusting these districts look, most of them. They just look so disgusting, and that's what it should look like. One game that actually I think is very similar, to an extent, is, oops, one sec. Is Deus Ex Mankind Divided, although I think that game is just not big enough, but yeah, this is what I get the feeling out of.
is your world news update.
We got, again, there's a listen of that new soundtrack. Yeah, is there anything you guys, if anything specifically that I missed, I just want to let me know in the chat. Then we got, I guess, another celebrity. Don't know who this is, but Q Ziggy? I'm not sure. These advertisements are just so comical.
Endless possibilities.
Peep Show.
An endless lot.
Okay. I'm just pausing to see if there's anything hidden in some of these shots, because there definitely was.
We are fucked, America. And that.
That's actually, one sec, let me go back a second.
America.
Yeah, disgusting pollution in Night City. We got some radiation going on here. Out there in the Badlands.
And I don't know how.
This is probably where Alana Pierce's character, don't know what it's called, but, or who she's called, but she'll be somewhere out here. One of these giant landfills.
We're gonna fix it.
The homeless population in Night City has...
Aliens kidnapped my wife and kids. Help me celebrate. It's pretty good.
Risen by 300%.
Just very detailed.
Crime in Night City is
Got a camera.
now double the rate than in the
Oh, those are tiger claws, I think.
United States.
We got another Maelstrom gang member. That was a look at Militech, very briefly. Militech body bags. There we are. That's their design. They're interrogating somebody. Is this a Valentino? Not sure. Is this a... I can't tell.
You want to be some kind of hero?
Ooh. Was that our first look at the... a better look at the Max Tech? I do like how the interior looks very different. I don't know if that's cracked or not. It is. The screen's cracked. I think there's a bullet hole.
Some kind of hero.
Yeah, there we go. Max Tech. Is that our first look at them since, like our first actual full look at their character model? I mean, we saw an image a couple weeks ago, but impressive. Apparently these are supposed to be a force to go against, so, they're going after people suffering from cyberpsychosis, which are supposed to be like mini boss fights that we'll have in the game. This is California in about 30 years. You know, I would say you're wrong, but you're not. I mean, somebody's saying it's like California in 5 years. At this pace, maybe.
That's a fight this city.
Is that Padre again? I think it is Padre. Maybe our first time coming to him as a fixer.
Won't let you win.
On your own, you're fucked.
Hey, and then we get Keanu.
You're fucked.
Alright, well, anyway. I'm guessing that's our game over screen right there. It was very briefly shown. Critical system failure. Flatlined. Yeah, anyway, I think you guys got that.
Well, on that note, that's it for today's Info Flash. Sleep tight, Night City.
So I'm guessing they mixed in some like advertisement TV shows or such that maybe littered around in some of the I guess televisions or whatever.
Grass ain't greener anywhere else.
Night City. What does it mean to you?
Here we go. We gotta look at one of these top executives, heavily guarded by some soldiers, corpos, Arasaka. Maybe this is where Yorinobu, where his home is. Although I thought he was in a skyscraper. Although if you look in the distance, you can actually see. Very, very nice.
How well do you know its history? Who was Richard Knight? How many stations are in the N-card system? Which city district boasts the best burrito in town? The answers to
yeah, we've seen this shot before. Again, another look at it.
these
And
questions
then Night
and
City
more
Live.
can be
We
found
went
at
over
the
this
address
earlier
at
in the
bottom
stream.
of your screen. Check it out and fall in love with Night City all over again.
She pulls my trigger.
I mean, come on, this world just looks... I saw it during the chat. I wasn't saying anything because I didn't want to interrupt the conversation that the CDPR devs were having, but come on. You saw some people saying, this is downgrade. No. Probably one of the most impressive open worlds I've seen to date. And if you're judging it based on that 2018 footage, we barely saw. We saw a glimpse at just a part of Watson. We didn't really see the outside of this. And if you even compare the 2018 footage to 2020, there's just more buildings. There's a lot more going on now. This game has definitely evolved.
Well, since Night City is...
You know, the funny thing is, if there hadn't been a delay, we all would have been playing Cyberpunk 2077 as of, what, yesterday? Wow. Okay, and they're going to talk about Night City a little bit more. I think they just show pretty much the same footage for the most part.
We sat down and we were really considering what is it that we wanted to do with Night City. In a way...
Yeah. Alright, let's go to the Gangs trailer. This is where we see Takamura. I'm guessing in the next episode we're gonna have to see what a corpo detailed part of an episode on Arasaka, Militech, Kang Tao, Kendachi, and all the other ones.
You know,
look at that.
Know how things work in Night City. The stronger survive, but that's how things stand. You're either somebody or you fizzle out into nothing.
Then C ain't a city that lets you get by without buddies.
Be very careful, my friend.
There he is. Takamura. Finally, our first look at him. It has to be him, right, guys? I saw some people saying, yeah, this has got to be him. They've been keeping him hidden for a while. We don't know his importance. All we know is that he has some big role in the story. And here he's warning V of whatever he's doing.
We're so far from home.
Which gangs did...
And there's a great look at the open world that makes up Night City.
Which...
Yeah, there we go. For anybody who's trying to put together a map on Night City, well, here you go.
gang's the city's biggest and baddest, according to the NCPD?
Scavs hold the body count title.
Look at the weather, though. The weather effects. I'm very impressed by that. And this is, I'm guessing, this may be another visual of that 2018 gameplay mission where we have to meet with Meredith of Militech, and we have to fight off some scavengers. I'm not sure. This kind of just... Either way, there's definitely a lot of different weather effects that we're seeing.
Or Maelstrom, depending on the season.
One time, a Maelstrom ganger killed a young kid right in front of my eyes for shits and giggles.
Chrome-sucking psychos.
And who the fuck are you to say what can and can't be? I'm gonna introduce you to our meat grinder. About time we had some fun! Think Maelstrom never forgets? Never!
I hate these Borg fuckers.
Just a gang like any other, right?
I'll take something to her. Bible book club.
I gotta give style points to the Valentinos.
Look at that detailed car. I'm guessing this is maybe one of the vehicles that we can obtain. I don't know if this is just something we can find on the streets, but it definitely looks like this could be a faction-specific design that we can pick up. Or car, I should say.
They have a punish.
Looks like they're having a mourning over somebody or something here. We can see, I think that's Padre. Then some other characters we haven't met yet. Remember, we can't join gangs, but we can side with them.
Meant for every occasion.
Yeah, there's Padre again.
Gangster life.
Ooh, okay, this is golden vehicle.
Quick shout out to everyone in Haywood and Santo Domingo. Lately, the Valentinos and 6th Street have had a bigger bone to pick.
6th Street. Why'd they want to wipe you?
I can't fucking stand Tinos.
Fucking stop! I've dealt with 6th Street before. We do the run, they'll transfer the cred.
Got some melee gameplay going in here.
Before 6th Street shows up. Shot!
I was trying to figure out what this was during the stream. I was like, is that a head or a poster or something?
Shot! Any more Second Amendment fans in the house, huh?
Hate those bastards. Vomit lofty patriotic bullshit all day.
And then if you listen to the overview, it seems like Johnny Silverhand gives his take on each of the gangs. Or gives his opinion, at least.
Time to bring on the future.
Any idea
or some
how
of them,
many
at least.
attacks from behind the Black Wall we neutralized? If the Voodoo Boys breach the Black Wall, we'll all be fucked.
Voodoo boys. Urban myth, I thought. Just net runners spooking each other. No such gang.
Well, even though you can't join gangs, you can still side with them.
Our home until fucking gang in the city.
Yeah, much of this we've seen before with the
Animals
Voodoo
aren't
Boys and the
played,
animals. But this is where we can do some fighting. This is one of the mini games in the game.
They're hired muscle. Someone else needed them.
I fucked you over, you fucked the gang over. Somewhere at the start of the story, somebody fucked the corp. See how this works now?
My husband's new Westbrook. Very high in the tiger claws. They did.
Yeah, and she's one of the fixers in the game. We saw her in the last Night City Wire episode. I believe it was her. Wakado, I forget her last name, but she's one of the fixers who's she's an axe to grind.
What made the best edit?
Yeah. One second, I'll keep this going.
Sold sex and black market tech.
See a lot of tigers. They run this place.
Know what else they do well? Break the knees of people who ask questions.
We gotta do something.
Shut the fuck up! The tigers will kill us. Come on, baby.
Tiger claws killed one girl too many, so people took matters.
Alright guys, I'm going to go through a couple more things here. Is there anything else you guys missed or want to show me? Let me know. I'm going to probably do an in-depth video on all this. My chair's squeaky if you can hear it in the background. My Spectrum internet's starting to mess up. Yeah, Spectrum internet not going all that well.
Into their own hands. Have each other's back. Something in this city.
Yeah, this is the voice actor. I was trying to figure out. She sounds so familiar, but I can't put my hand on it.
Moxes and nomads don't seem so different. Both seem to yammer a lot about community, solidarity. Tell me about the Badlands. Not much going on out here, huh?
Au contraire. This is an ecosystem.
Yeah, if we're able to affect gangs, I'm not sure. They haven't really gone into details that we can just completely eliminate a gang. I'm not sure about that, but I'm guessing obviously our decisions will have an impact. Okay.
Nomads, wrapped in shiv, corporations, and drifters.
Yeah, we've seen this shot before. One of the screenshots that was released a couple months back.
They form a complete whole.
And then here's another main character. It seems like she's going to have an important part of the nomad life path, at least in the beginning.
With one part, the delicate balance topples.
Here in the Aldecaldos, it all stays in the family.
Everything stays in the family. That... Ooh, okay.
Classic dilemma. What comes first? Family or the outside world?
This family will go to hell and back.
Everyone in this city lives in their own bubble, and either you fly high or sink into quicksand.
Yeah, and if you miss the minimum requirements, I'll head because that's going to be the last part we have here.
Of RAM and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 or AMD Radeon R9.
So 70 gigabytes is going to be the size of Cyberpunk 2077. These are the specs. I was kind of hoping they'd have a little bit more detailed one like Ubisoft. I said this earlier, but regardless, it looks like I'm good to go. I don't know how about if you guys are good to go, but definitely though I still feel like I have a need to get the 3080 just because I want to experience this game at visually the best it can look like. But I'm also considering playing this on console as well, console and PC, so we'll see. I'm not sure. If I am going to play in console, it'll be a PS4 Pro, and then probably play it on PS5 once it comes out. Because, as most of you already know, PS5 games, are like Cyberpunk, will be playable day one. It just won't have like that next-gen upgrades. Well, obviously, there will be some enhancements, but not the next-gen upgrades that CDPR is planning. Get that in the shot. Yeah, Intel Core i7 4790. I got a 770. I think I got 32 gigabytes of RAM, 2070 Super, SSD. I have more than enough for that. There were some concerns about this being 200 gigabytes. Thankfully, it is not that. It's just a little bit bigger than The Witcher 3 was in size. I think The Witcher 3 is like 50 gigabytes, not including the DLCs. So yeah. Alright guys, any more final thoughts, let me know down in the chat. I'm going to wrap up this stream here. We're going to have a lot more coverage of Cyberpunk 2077 coming. And of course, as they said, Night City Wire Episode 4 probably will be coming, I'm guessing. That I don't know if that'll be our final episode, but we'll probably have, I think there's going to be 2 more. I think we're going to have an episode for probably middle of next month, and then we'll have like a launch episode, something going over the final details that they want to share. But yeah, some exciting times with Cyberpunk 2077 content. I have a lot more coverage coming, a lot of stuff planned, so make sure you are subscribed, and if you haven't already, do consider hitting that like button. And I'm actually going to play my outro now, if I can find it here on the screen. Exit everything out. But yeah, thank you all for watching. This is a fun time. I'm going to have more in-depth coverage, especially on what was shown here and that website, nightcity.love. We'll go over all of these details later, and there's more Cyberpunk information floating about that I'll put together in another lengthy video, as you all know that I produce nowadays. Anyway, thank you guys all for coming. Do consider hitting that like button if you did enjoy the video, and consider subscribing for more coverage on Cyberpunk 2077. And if you do enjoy this content, maybe consider helping out, hitting my Patreon up, backing the channel and gaining some benefits. I got some big videos coming in the future, but I'll see all of you later. Until next time.